Good morning, viewers. This is another wonderful day. And first of all, today I want to ask you, how happy are you today? Yes, how happy are you today? Please let me know in the comment box. Well, that reminds me of our previous video of this series about happiness, you remember? Yes, in our previous video we have discussed about happiness. We have learned about how to transform our ordinary life into a happy life. But what about the sufferings, the sadness, the most difficult part of our life? So in our today's video, we are going to discuss about grief, the intense feeling of sadness after suffering. Welcome and welcome back to my channel, The Mystic Manisha. Let's get started. Sadness actually is a psychological experience of loss, an emotional trauma that hits after every suffering. So now let me share something with you. It's been more than 2500 years since his birth, a noble spiritual teacher, a divine being, the root and the founder of the Buddhism. Yes, Sri Siddhartha Gautam Buddha. His first teaching, his first sermon centered on the Four Noble Truths. The truth that deals with the nature of suffering, sadness, dukhas. First one is the truth of Dukha, which explains about dissatisfaction. Yes, my friend. All sadness, suffering, grief starts from dissatisfaction. This sense of dissatisfaction, the moment it hits us, we are unable to decide anything, we are unable to think about anything, or we are unable to move from that situation. We experience a brain fog. Second, here comes the second point, the truth of origin and cause of dukkha. So we have to know what is causing this dissatisfaction, for which we are suffering so much. Then comes the third point, the truth of end of dukkhas. So how we can come out of this, how we can move on, how we can let go. And finally, the truth of path leading to the end of dukkha. How can we finally separate us from this? This is very important. Now, let's discuss this point one by one. So, dissatisfaction is very common, we all know it is a part of daily life, right? So, dissatisfaction or suffering is actually caused by an illusion. And what these illusions are made of? These illusions are created by 5 skandhas. The matter, the sensation, the perception, mental formation, and consciousness. Let's understand this. So, the first one is matter. Matter is nothing but the material pleasures that we get through our 5 sense organs: sight, sound, smell, taste, texture. The moment material things starts giving us bad experiences, we suffer. And here is where the second point comes, sensation. The sensation that derived from the senses of material things. The feeling, the sensation, the future experience of the suffering through displeasure. And here we start growing some perception. Okay? Third point, we create an illusion of thoughts and start believing that whatever we think or whatever we know is right and the best that can happen to us. Our perceptions becomes the reason of exhaustion, and it enhances our ego. Fourth point is mental formation. The mental formation means all the habits we accumulated in our lifetime that cause us the unconscious, when we respond unconsciously to something, to any circumstances in a particular way, suffering comes through our past experiences, our memories, and we unconsciously respond to them. That's where we get to know, we understand that it's so important to be conscious. So, our fifth point is consciousness. While the world is an illusion, but consciousness is actually real, isn't it? When we indulge our senses of separation and detachment, when we get into this detached attachment state, we consciously are doing the right thing. But our senses and like our emotions that feels the pain, it is a part of our consciousness. So it is the first step is to know the nature of suffering. And when we get into the second stage, it is the causes of suffering. What are the reasons behind the suffering? The cause of suffering actually starts from the experiences of unfulfilled desire. We all have some desires, and when our desires remain unfulfilled, it starts irritating us, it starts giving us discomfort and dissatisfaction. That craving and that thirst of unfulfilled desire, this craving is further classified into three different cravings: Kama-tanha, Bhava-tanha, Vibhava-tanha. So, first one is Kama-tanha, craving of sensory pleasure, the craving of our senses, the pleasure that we feel. Then comes the Bhava-tanha, the craving to be perfect. It relates to our ego, always wanting to be perfect. This comes from our ego. And the third one is Vibhava-tanha, the desire to no longer exist, a pull from life. Like it's all getting indulged into something that is one, that oneness. That is called Vibhava-tanha. Now comes the third truth, the end of suffering. How to overcome, how to end this. Everything should have a proper end. And that's where we get the clarity. And clarity is so important for life. So suffering is nothing but an inner condition. Dukha is simply an observation of the way we think and how the situation or things are. And to overcome all sufferings, it is only possible by changing the inner condition, reaching the point of consciousness beyond the dissatisfaction, beyond the pain, beyond the suffering. When you reach this stage of detached attachment, this is where you find the utmost level of clarity and you separate yourself from those things. Those are non-contributing for your life or for you. The truth of the path leading to end of suffering, the last point, the path to reunite with the supreme consciousness, the only attachment we should have, the only attachment is with our own self. Find that oneness within. Find that light inside you. Find that particular light which will break all the barriers of darkness from within. So this was our episode of what is sadness, grief or dissatisfaction and in what stages we can overcome this. That was all about today's episode. Hope this was an insightful session. We will come up soon with a lot more and more of this kind of videos. Stay tuned to our channel. Thank you and have a wonderful day.